Go live. Alrighty, hi there, internet. Let me get my Facebook thing set to unprivate, and then we can read the news. Really wish that I could figure out why it does this. But I am such a fucking boomer that, well, yeah, just boomer gonna boomer. Come on. There we go. I know you want to do it. Edit audience in public. Just waiting for that little lock to change. There we go. Okay, cool. Holy shit. Okay. Anyway, in case you haven't seen it, that right there. That right there is my Substack. And I write stuff. You can read the stuff that I write there. You can sign up to get it direct to your inbox. Please do. I like the dopamine. For our first article, California sues LA suburb for temporary ban of homeless shelters. God damn it, I fucking hate these NIMBYist fucks. Sacramento, third world shithole California. California filed a lawsuit against an LA suburb on Monday, alleging city's recent moratorium on homeless shelters and temporary housing violates the state's fair housing and anti-discrimination laws. The lawsuit is part of an ongoing effort by Governor Gavin Newsom to push back against what he sees as local resistance and defiance of state laws in the face of California's desperate need for new housing. Kind of like how Gavin Newsom pushes back against federal laws and defies federal statutes protecting the people from government overreach in the realm of firearms. But, you know, who's keeping track of that shit? A crisis has prompted a surge in the homeless population in the nation's most populous state. Norwalk, a city of 100,000 people, some 15 miles from Los Angeles, becomes the largest city to face legal actions from the state over housing policies that came after the city council voted in September. Well, hey, I thought these fuckers were all for, like, you know, democracy, and if they voted, protect democracy, assholes. The city council voted in September to extend its temporary also, on new homeless shelters and emergency housing. Well, I mean, if that's what they voted for. That's democracy, right? Right? That's what they want. You get your democracy. Sometimes you lose. Deal with it. City council members in a recent statement said Norwalk has done its fair share to address the homeless crisis, but previous state programs, including one that puts homeless people in motel rooms, have led to public safety concerns. You don't say. Moratorium, which remains in effect until next year, already has blocked a plan by the County of Los Angeles in September to move homeless people into a hotel in the city. Lawsuit filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court argues that the city violated half a dozen housing laws by enacting such a moratorium. It is asking the court to halt the city's law. What's funny about that is that probably just by owning a house, you're violating city ordinances and housing laws in California. Like, there's so many fucking rules there, it's not even funny. Our message is clear, our message is consistent. No, it's not, said Attorney General Rob Bonta on Monday. If local governments attempt to skirt state housing laws, if they refuse to do the bare minimum to address the dire lack of affordable and accessible housing in California, we will hold them accountable. Monday's lawsuit comes after Newsom publicly blasted Norwalk and urged local elected officials to reconsider the policy. The state in September warned the city of potential legal action, and last month revoked the city's housing plan, effectively disqualifying it from receiving state funding for homeless and housing programs. Weren't these the same people that were like decrying? You know, no, I'm not gonna, no. Bonta said state officials also met. Yeah, weren't these the same people that were like decrying when Trump did that in California with the wildfires? And he still gave them the money, but he like threatened to pull the funding or something. I seem to recall something like that. You know, if it weren't for double standards, the left would have no standards at all. And I'm pretty sure there's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise. I mean, I'd need to see some, like, real commitment to principle. These people suck. Bonta said state officials also met with the city last week, but to no avail. Norwalk City Council's failure to reverse the ban, despite knowing it's unlawful, is inexcusable, said Newsome in a statement on Monday. No community should turn its back on residents in need. Yeah, no community should turn its backs on residents in need. Like the Biden-Harris administration turning their backs on the people of North Carolina when they needed assistance. Anyway, the city mayor and city spokesperson didn't immediately respond to emails seeking comment about the lawsuit. California has ramped up enforcement of state housing laws in the last few years. It sued at least 2 cities last year for rejecting affordable housing projects and homes for the homeless people. Last month, Newsom also signed a package of 32 housing bills, making it easier for the state to go after local cities that defy housing laws. It's California. You don't need 32 more laws to get people on. Like, there's so many fucking laws in that state already. It's like, the lawsuit will likely escalate the conflict between the state and local governments over how many housing projects cities should approve and how fast they should build them. California needs to build 2.5 million homes by 2030 to keep up with demand, according to the California Department of Housing and Community Development. But the state only averages 100,000 new homes per year, including only 10,000 affordable units. Those are the ones in, like, El Centro, Palm Desert, Hammett. Democratic governor who has ambitions on the national stage. Don't. I'm a refugee of California. Don't put him in federal office. No. Has made housing and homelessness a top priority as California's leader, yes. And by making housing and homelessness a top priority, he means he wants to maximize the state stealing people's houses and maximize the number of homeless in California. That's what he means by that. His administration spent roughly $40 billion to help build affordable housing programs and $27 billion in homelessness solutions. Bro, you could give me, let's see, I need a calculator for this because I'm a product of the California educational system, so I can't do math very well in my head. I can barely count to 37. But if we do, I would take, give me $500,000, which would be, let's see, 27, and then that's 27,000, that's 27 million. That would be 0.00001% of what they spent on that. I could solve the fucking problem. You just give them more fentanyl. Problem solved. Early this summer, he started to pressure local governments to clean up encampments that have lined the streets and. He did that for China's visit, dude. Going as far as threatening to withhold state funding next year if he doesn't see results. Dude, you are a fucking tyrant. You could have been doing this the whole time. You could have been doing it the whole fucking time, and it wouldn't have been an issue. But no, you want to fucking just play Mr. American Psycho, and yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck him. Fuck him. Next story, when it loads. Today, motherfucker. Trump tells Pennsylvania rally to get me somebody, comma, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news. Essentially saying he now has fake news body armor. Former President Donald Trump discussed the assassination attempt against him during a rally in Lititz, Pennsylvania on Sunday. Trump outraged liberal media by saying that for a shooter to hit him again, they would have to shoot through the fake news, and I don't mind that so much. Taste! I mean, no matter how much you hate the media, you don't hate them enough. Trump jokes the assassin would have to, quote-unquote, shoot through the fake news to kill him. I have a piece of glass over here, and I don't have a piece of glass there, and I have this piece of glass here, Trump said. Breaking, shocking. At a rally in Pennsylvania, Donald Trump says, quote-unquote, all we have over here is fake news, and to get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news, and I don't mind that so much. Like a fucking G. All we really have over here is fake news, Trump continued, and to get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news, and I don't mind that so much. Later in his speech, Trump said that ABC fake news, CBS, ABC, NBC, these are, in my opinion, are they transcribing the Echo? These are seriously corrupt people. Where's the lie? Stephen Chung, the Trump campaign communications director, said that Republican presidential nominee was referring to threats against him that were spurred on by the dangerous rhetoric from Democrats. Yeah, I mean, if these organizations are talking all this shit for years, why would he fucking have a single shred of sympathy for any of them? Like, at least as meat shields, they're doing something useful for him. Like, President Trump was brilliantly talking about the 2 assassination attempts on his own life, including one that came within 1/4 of an inch from killing him. Something that the media constantly talks and jokes about, and they do. Here. I can't believe I have to look this up, but... Trump, bunker boy, St. John Church. Let's see. If I go to news, I gotta sort by... Can I do filters? Today, motherfucker. God damn. Can I do advanced filters? Can I change the range of... I want to change the range of dates. See, this would have been in what, 2020? Yeah. Where is it? So that would have been... Okay, so there's the picture that everybody made fun of. What was the actual day that that church got burned? because there were so many fucking articles about him taking refuge in the bunker, about him taking that picture as a photo op, and it's like, here he is throwing the same shit back at them, and they can't take it. And it's like, well, if you can't stand the heat, get the fuck up out the church that's on fire. Come on. Anyway, yeah, Bunker Boy. There it is. Bunker Boy. Trump mocked for hiding from protesters at White House. I'm sorry, those are not protesters. That is a riot. Fucking George Fentanyl Floyd. Saint Floyd. Just temporarily allow all scripts globally. Why not? Why the fuck not? Come on, you cock-smoking sack of shit. I must show the people! I must show the people! Yeah, no, right there. These people are talking... So, okay. If you are going to throw this kind of shit around, be ready to have it thrown back at you. I don't know what the big deal is. Yeah, so to get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news, and I don't mind that so much. He's not even saying somebody should. He's just saying, I don't mind it. And if that's the case, I don't really get it. What is this outrage about? This isn't even like the whole Liz Cheney firing squad thing either, because as dumb as that was to get your panties in a twist over, that at least had kind of the phrasing. So, I don't know. And hey, there's somebody in the chat. I see you. I see you, person. Thank you. The statement continued. In fact, President Trump was stating that the media was in danger. I mean, yeah, kind of. In that they were protecting him and therefore were in a great danger themselves and should have had a glass protective shield also. There can be no other interpretation of what was said, and he was actually looking out for their welfare. Look at that. Look at that. He hates them, and yet he's still taking the time to be concerned for their safety. He truly is a president for all. Next story. U.S. cybersecurity chief says disinformation surge has not impacted the election. Imagine that. At least this one's short. U.S. Cybersecurity Agency Director Jen Easterly said on Monday that her department has not seen any evidence of any activity that could directly impact the outcome of the election, despite a surge in disinformation. No activity that could impact the election. So, lighting mailboxes and ballot drop boxes on fire is not activity that could directly impact the outcome of the election. These text messages going out reminding people that whether or not somebody votes is public and sounding all threatening is not activity that could directly impact the outcome of an election? Or is that just disinformation because it disagrees with your reality? She added that the 2024 election has faced unprecedented amount of disinformation from foreign adversaries. What about domestic adversaries? Every fucking election faces disinformation from foreign adversaries. Russia and others intend to fan divisive narratives ahead of the election. An accusation that Russia has denied. They have every reason to. Last week, officials in the state of Georgia described a fake video of the Haitian immigrant, which I saw and I definitely had suspicions about as well when that popped up on Twitter. Major cybersecurity and infrastructure security agency said there is a high likelihood that foreign disinformation efforts will continue in the weeks and months after the election and up until January 6th. Now, I have a question. Let's say Trump wins. We've been hearing nonstop about Trump's not going to accept the results. Trump's not going to accept the results. Is Kamala? Jamie Raskin, the, I think he's a senator or Congress critter, one of the two. out of Maryland, if I remember correctly, had said something to the effect of he would not certify the election if Trump won. And let me see here. Raskin. Election certification. Can you eat any louder, you fat fuck? I want the exact quote from Raskin here. Look at that rat fank looking motherfucker. Calling him a hypocrite, calling him a hypocrite. Where's the actual quote from this motherfucker? Democrats spurn use the certification process to block Trump. So some of them actually are being logically consistent, and I commend the ones that are doing that. It shouldn't earn praise that you're doing the right thing, but I feel like anytime we see anybody doing the right thing at this point should probably earn praise, regardless of where they're coming from. Maybe this one from Politico? No, that's 2022. Never mind. But I mean, yes, the Electoral College is hazardous to democracy. It's supposed to be, because we're not a fucking democracy, you retard. Like, I don't understand how much clearer it needs to be that we are not a democracy. Come on. Some top Dems won't commit to certifying a Trump win. What they're saying, Representative Jamie Raskin, Democrat from Maryland, House Oversight Committee ranking member and former Jan 6 committee member, who objected to Trump electors in 2017, told Axios in an interview that if Trump won a free and fair and honest election, he would obviously accept it. Well, how do you define a free, fair, and honest election? Because, according to y'all, having the courts look at the results of an election that was in question wasn't free and fair. So how do we question it? I need definitions here. And also, he definitely doesn't assume that Trump would use a free, fair, and honest election to secure victory. How? Like, manipulating electoral college counts in Nebraska. What is... Oh no, you're not allowed to push for voter reform. You're not allowed to support things that you support. Fucking get out of here, you son of a bitch. Like, Easterly said the election infrastructure has never been more secure, and the election community has never been better prepared to deliver safe, secure, free, and fair elections. Do not question it if it does not come up. In the other words, we're so fucked. We are so fucked. Former Obama campaign manager, early voting numbers, quote-unquote, a little scary for Harris. Jim Messina, former President Obama's 2012 campaign manager, said on Sunday that early voting numbers are a little scary for Harris's campaign. He noted in an interview on MSNBC Inside with Jen Psaki that Republicans are voting early at higher rates than they have historically, which could change what the vote breakdown looks like when early returns come in on election night. Early vote numbers are a little scary. You've said that like 4 times in this shit already. The title, right there, and then right there. It's like when you have an essay back in high school and you're trying to pad it out for words and you just, like, hit the thesaurus and it still hasn't helped. Republicans didn't do what they did last time. Last time Trump said don't early vote, and so they didn't. Republicans do have an advantage in early vote numbers when the early vote comes in. It's going to look a little bit different than 2020, and that's scary. Yeah, because you don't know how many fucking ballots you need to print this time around, you little sack of shit. I swear to God, these people are trash. I hate them so much. Messina said, however, he thinks Harris is holding strong in the last leg of the campaign, and he's optimistic about the voting turnout for Harris among young voters and women. But kind of dig into the numbers. The numbers that I care the most about are 2 blocks, women voters and young voters, and those 2 voting blocks are coming big. They're coming big. Wait, the fuck?
I'm gonna come.
There. Come on, soundboard. Where was I? 55% of the early voters and in the past 10 days, young voters in these battleground states are coming out in what looks to be, for early vote, historic numbers. And that makes Harris' campaign very, very happy.
Really, nigga?
But when you look at some of the early vote numbers, it has led lots of your friends and my friends to call me panicking. And I do think it's true. The Republicans have done a better job than they did last time on the early vote. More than 78 million early votes have been cast in the 2024 election, according to the University of Florida's election lab tally. Poor friend. We will avenge you. Didn't expect that one to pop up there. Gotta get a little bit in. Papas. And last one before we do space weather. Gaza aid situation not much improved. U.S. says as deadline for Israel looms. Israel has taken some measures to increase aid to Gaza, but has so far failed to significantly turn around the humanitarian situation in the enclave. Biden administration told Israel in an October 13th letter it had 30 days to take specific steps to address the dire humanitarian crisis in the Strip, and which has been pummeled for more than a year by Israeli ground and air operations that Israel says are aimed at rooting out Hamas militants. Aid workers and UN officials say humanitarian conditions continue to be dire in Gaza. As of today, the situation has not significantly turned around, and we have seen an increase in some measurements. We've seen an increase in the number of crossings that are open, but if you look at the stipulated recommendations in the letter, those have not been met. Said the results so far were not good enough, but stressed that the 30-day period has not elapsed. They still have some time to turn it around. What I can tell you that we will do is we will follow the law. Washington, Israel's main supplier of weapons, has frequently pressed in Israel to improve humanitarian conditions since the war with Hamas began, when some Palestinian militant group tried to fuck around and they found out on October 7, 2023. Section 620I of the U.S. Foreign Assistance Act prohibits military aid to countries that impede the delivery of U.S. humanitarian assistance. Israel on Monday said it was canceling its agreement with the UN Relief Agency for Palestinians. Fuck yeah. Citing that they had some Hamas links. Good as a reason as any. Said Israel had scaled back entry of aid trucks to the Gaza Strip to an average of 30 trucks a day, the lowest in a long time. No limit has been imposed on aid entering Gaza, with 47 aid trucks entering northern Gaza on Sunday alone. Israeli statistics reviewed by Reuters last week showed that aid shipments allowed into Gaza in October remained at their lowest since October 2023, when all this shit started. Once more, fuck around and find out. Like, I really don't know what else to say on that, because you know what will happen if you are living there. You've got feet. Well, maybe not now, but you had feet, maybe still have feet, to walk with. If shit starts popping off, and you don't move to greener pastures, you don't leave, kind of on you. And then finally, space weather. So we had a comet that had a big eruption. Show you big eruption, but right now we have a giant fucking sunspot pointed directly at us, although it is not very magnetically complex. The other sunspot groups there seem to be a little more complex, but this coming in on the limb does look a little concerning. See our time lapse there. Then there's our auroral oval. KP index right now is a little, or it's quiet. 24-hour max it hit unsettled. What does our prognosis look like? 75% chance of M-class flares in the next 24 hours. 30% of X in the next 24 hours. Yikes. Decent chances for mid and high latitude geomagnetic storms, but nothing setting the world on fire yet. What's our corona holes look like? Got one on the southern limb, but it doesn't look like it's particularly earth facing. Look at that though. A lot of filaments. Tons of filaments. Jesus. That is concerning. Gulp. Anyway, I think that'll be that for the day. It has been fun, kinda. It's been real. Wouldn't say it's been real fun though.